And we are live. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where today I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not going to happen in this video, but that's okay. I will live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Besh. I'll say what's up to her.
Good morning and good afternoon if you're on the East Coast. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe to both channels. Any reviews or recaps I don't cover on my channel, it's because we cover on Mrs. Best channel. We have 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. I don't know when that show is wrapping up, but I love that show nonetheless. We have Love and Hip Hop. Miami is coming back, but we have Atlanta currently. We also have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If you guys love these shows, but along with a slew of other pre-recorded shows that Mrs. Best does, y'all will subscribe to her channel and tell her James sent you. I also got to highlight my girl Shani, who is up in here first. Thank you for being here, Shani. I'm glad you were able to get the episode done, and I took my time. So don't say I never gave you nothing. I'm just playing. Yes, but she's always in here first, and do what she say, y'all. Like the video on your way in and on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. Shout out to my replay gang. Those who could not make it live with us here on this Sunday, we love y'all, and we want to make sure that y'all are also knowing that we see you. We see you when you come. We see you when you leave a comment. We love it. We heart it up. We thank you guys so much. So, Love and Marriage Huntsville, y'all. This episode here, I don't know what they're doing with this show, but Lord Jesus. Me too, Shana. Shout out to Shana underscore MCD. Y'all subscribe to her channel as well. She is also doing this show along with other shows, and we love Shana for it. Thank you so much, Shana, for all that you do. This episode was ridiculous. So we open up the episode with Tisha and I mean, not Tisha. Tisha was there, but Marcel and Maurice taking Tisha and Kimmy to their favorite little frozen ice drink spot where they dad used to took him after he would get through with a job. And they were talking about how the street is so busy and how their parents wouldn't allow them to be on this street. Like y'all was able to be on the street. And I'm like, damn, I must have had a fucked up childhood if your parents wouldn't let you be on the sidewalk of a busy street. Because I stayed on a busy street as a kid growing up. Mrs. Best, did you stay on a busy street when you were growing up?
We from the Bay Area, friend. We didn't have no choice. Unless you lived in Vallejo, the street is busy.
Okay, that's what I said. I'm like, wow, y'all had some type of life growing up because I was constantly on a busy main road. But anyways, y'all, they're talking about the Scott's father and how he seemed out of it. He seemed like he was present but not really there and everything. And Marceau says, he was a great father. Imagine being 26 with 8 kids. I said, God damn, I didn't know he was that young having 8 children. That's a lot. Y'all, that's a lot. Imagine a lot of us are over in our 30s. Imagine at 26 years old having 8 fucking children.
My best friend in Braider, she got 5 kids, and she be fighting for her life. So I can't imagine 8.
I can't imagine 8. And
That's crazy.
so when Marcel was talking about, not having his father's time and everything, and I said, no, you can't have your father's time. He got to work. He got all the mouths to feed. Your father had to get 2 and 3 jobs. So no, I understand. But they were kind of coming to the consensus that, if they need to talk to him, they will, because they want to give him his flowers as well. He did the best he could with what he had. And that's pretty much how that conversation went. So we get to Uncle Rick's spot, and they're giving speeches, but they pull their father to the side and they tell him, we were talking with the ladies, and they said that you may have felt away. He goes, no, I didn't feel away. I'm happy about how y'all lives turned out. I really want y'all to go into plumbing and HVAC, but y'all found your own way, and that's something I could be proud of. And so Marceau said, we're proud of you as well. I can't imagine being 26 years old with 8 kids and having to provide for them all and work as hard as you did. We see you. We want to make sure that that we love you, and that, your hard work does not go unnoticed by us. Which I thought was very, amazing to do, especially if he was there. I don't know when he went to prison. Like, they kind of skipping over some timeline here where I didn't understand, because I know he was in, prison, and there was some missing of action. Did that happen in the beginning time of their lives, or did it happen later on in their lives? When did that happen? So we can connect these dots, because I'm trying to figure it out. I was confused like the rest of the world. I'm like, okay, Was he there? Was he not? When did this happen? Did he spiral? I don't know. But the father looked like he wanted to cry, but he held them tears close to his chest because he was not letting it out. And Marceau, and this is what got everybody on social media rumbling. Marceau, he goes, I can't imagine, my father had 8 kids, and he's doing the best he could. My wife has 3 kids, and I'm helping her to be the best parent she knows how to be. And I'm looking at Marceau like, wait a minute. Did this fool really just say Tisha has 3 kids and he's trying to help her be the best parent that she can be? Marceau, they're not your kids. What the hell? Like, not you say Tisha has 3 kids. That's not the first time he has said this on this show, y'all. He said this in season 1. But I was hollering. I said, damn, Tisha, I would be mad as fuck if that was me. But, that's not me. Mrs. Best, how'd you feel about Marcel's comment in the confessional? Were you surprised?
No, no. But I do think Marcel appears when it comes to like the matter of their dad to be the one that is more in tune with it, more emotionally regulated with
Mm-hmm.
it. But any person, man, woman, what, I don't care if you a foster care parent or if you raising your niece or nephew, if you do not know the allergies of your children, I will never forgive you for that. I just won't. Now, if you find out that they're allergic to something because they eat it for the first time in life and then you got rushed to the ER, you get a pass. But if they've had an existing allergy and you just knew nothing about it, it's like, I don't know. I just look at Marcel like, I see that he has dealt probably with the issues with his dad a little more or better than his brother, but then the stuff that he says lets you know he's still just as ignorant.
Mm-hmm. What y'all saying in the comments? I can't imagine having 8 kids at all ever, girl. I can't even imagine having one, let alone 8. And at 26 years old, I want to know when he started as well. Was these teen pregnancies? Because they had to be, because 6 years, so that's like a baby a year. He had to have started at 18 at the very least. At the very least. One kid is enough for me, child. You ain't never lie. Now I'm annoyed with Maurice being mad at the lock on the fridge when the pops had to work out. Where's she at? Hold on, y'all. I forgot. Hold on. Where's she at? Because see, Maurice, you got the game fucked up. Hold on. Uh, you have the game fucked up here, sir. Because ain't no way in hell. Uh, yeah, I'm not for like.
My husband
Yes.
asked about this lady's face last night. And when I explained it to him, before I could even explain it, when I said what Maurice had said, well, he figured it's, easier for him to lay down than it is for him to stand up. Why did my husband's face do this lady's face for a split second and then he just laughed? I said, even a man knows that shit didn't make no sense.
It did it. That's why I was like, oh no, like I can't believe that.
That's why we keep bringing her face up. But
Every time the Scots will be on, I gotta talk about them. I'm bringing her face up at least one
pure
time.
disgust. Because,
Yes,
disgust and confusion in one face.
and the reason why it's so perfect is because she was there to be a professional.
If she didn't have her colleague, aka her husband, put his hand on her thigh to bring her back,
Yes,
go watch that scene over. He put his hand on her thigh when she made that face and tapped her. Like,
like
fix your face.
fix your face. We at work. Fix your face. We on camera.
We
Fix
gonna
your
see your
face.
face 10 seasons from now, Shana. Absolutely. This is the best. This is the face I make when I go to events and things don't go the right way. I'ma just that's the
Yes.
face you make.
That's the face you make. So when it all makes sense, where they talk about the lock on the fridge, now I do think that that's still wrong. Like I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that is still wrong to do. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't have had all those fucking kids if you was worried about one going in the refrigerator to get them something to eat. You shouldn't have to worry about. A kid should never have to worry about how much food they eat in a day. If they're hungry, they're hungry. That's
They
bottom
shouldn't,
line.
but then kids also got to live in a reality. And if you were getting your 3 meals a day and you also was getting your food from school, but there was a lock on the fridge in between them times, I'm just saying
No,
how
I
much was
just
going in it that he wanted to put the damn lock on it.
that's what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, listen. It's still wrong, but I get it. I get it
I'm
at the
going to
same time.
hell. Let
I
me
get it at
be
the same
quiet.
time.
Watch my
He
mouth.
said he said season one though. So he sure did Shayna. Yep, that's why I said this is not his first time saying that. I don't know why he says that because if I was one of his kids, I would feel away. I really would. I would feel away. Like, what the fuck you mean? I live in a house with you. You raised me. What are you talking about? I'm not your kid. Like, damn.
Did the dad say that? I didn't watch that season.
So season one, when Love and Marriage Huntsville came about, Marceau literally said to Tisha, "These are your kids. I'm just here." Because Tisha
Oh,
wanted to go out and find her
hell no.
entrepreneurship.
In
Yeah.
front of the kids?
I don't know. I don't remember it being in front of the kids, but I do
It's still
remember him
bad
saying
though.
that. Yeah.
What you mean these yo kids? How you think they got here? Just her egg? Oh God. And this shit's still on TV? And he said stuff like that?
hmm He was Marceau the first season, girl. Marceau was something else. Marceau was something like
Oh my
not even the
God.
first maybe four, no, 5 seasons, girl. Marceau was something else.
For
Like
those who do
him.
not know, I am just here because James covers the show, and I did tell him he should cover it because he does enjoy the show. And then I got dragged into it. So I did not watch like the earlier seasons in full. My goodness.
Yeah.
Now I'm making her
Uh,
face. Jesus. I
Shannon
see
said
why you say that now.
kids shouldn't, but some kids do overeat. Maurice seemed like he was a greedy kid.
He do.
Maybe. I mean, they
And
used to
thank you,
be.
Shayna, because I felt like I was going straight to hell and would be strike down with something. But he just gives me, even today, he just looks like a little bald headed tubby motherfucker. That's what he gives me.
Well, he
I don't know.
used to be heavier set though. He
Was
lost a lot of
he?
weight. Yeah, he lost a
Okay,
lot of
that
weight.
explains it.
Like even I was like, wow, yeah, he used to be him and Marceau both. Marceau used to be big as hell as well. He still got his hips.
Really?
hmm
No, he still
They
got
used to
his.
be they used to be some yeah, they used to be some yeah. hmm
Oh, James, not his hips.
Yeah, let's see where else are we. He did say about the kids, but he had it like in the attic. Oh Lord. Marceau was terrible. He's a little decent. He is now. I don't know what the fuck happened. He is now. Maybe he always was decent. He just wanted to play a character on TV, which y'all shouldn't do that because at the end of the day, we'll never unsee it. We'll never unsee that your kid was allergic to peanut butter and you almost
Ever.
gave it to him. Yeah. The
Oh my
Scott men
God.
have their mother's complexion and all are big bones. Yeah.
It's not big boned.
Yeah,
Lord.
they all were some heavy set kid. They were, but
See,
I
I
mean, they
came
both,
in towards later seasons
yeah.
when people was in shape and not entertaining. If I would have watched these people like that back then, I would have this lady's face probably in front of I probably would not be able to come on YouTube because James knows when somebody irritate me, my mouth cannot be watched.
Oh, girl, you missed you dodged a whole bullet. Like when I tell you, the Scots are some problematic people. I mean, the only one that didn't seem problematic was their youngest brother, Micah, and his wife, because his wife didn't play that shit. So
Mm.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that brother was big boned, but you know Rules is right. That was the one they
hmm
showed on the last week. He
The
was
last week
big.
episode, yeah, that's their
Mm.
youngest brother. So yeah. Marcel got some nice legs. That other brother got rug burns on his. Okay,
Shandy. Oh
okay.
my God.
The Scots were terrible, but we were distracted by the Holts. Exactly, Shayna. Exactly.
Mm.
Yes. That's why we could never pick that shit apart because we was too busy focusing on martelling and cheating. So yeah. But
Mm.
we gonna move it along because I'm gonna get the Scots out there because this lady's making me laugh looking at this face. But so they talk to the people in the crowd, Uncle Rick's students. I'm assuming these are his students, about where they can go with their lives and everything, and that they both will be donating tools to Uncle Rick's shop to help get more students through the door. I feel like that's amazing. Um, Y'all let me know in the comments because I couldn't tell if that was him. Was that Mark that walked in and the cameras panted on him? I couldn't tell because I haven't seen Mark in a minute, so I don't remember what he looks like. Was that him that walked in? Y'all let me know if that was Mark, the oldest brother, the one that used to be with Van, Melody's mama. Let me know if that was him that walked in. But that was pretty much the scene with the Scots. I think that is amazing, the philanthropy that they want to do to give back to the students and Uncle Rick, paying homage. And one last comment: when the dad said him and Uncle Rick was like two ass cheeks and a lot of shit in the middle, I fucking hollered. I said, where the hell did that come from? Why? There's certain things that, as an openly gay person, you should never say. That is one of them, Pops. Don't ever say that again. Just use a different analogy about how close you and Uncle Rick are. Use something different because that does not age well. Mrs. Best, is there anything else you want to add to this segment before we move on to the
No,
next one?
no.
Okay. So, his name is Cat Daddy Uncle Rick, y'all. Why would one? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why? There's just certain things you just don't say as two men. You just don't say that. Straight men, apparently.
But then again, what did his son say to Martell? Martell, do you know what my dick looks like? So maybe this is why. Maybe that's where now things are starting to connect. We may not want them to connect in the way that they are connected, but things are connecting. Okay? Because that's all I think about when I see Maurice, my husband too. Every time he's on the screen, he gets annoyed because he's like, why would you ask another nigga what his dick look like?
Versus, no, that was not me. I was not there.
Right.
That did not happen. No, it did not happen, Martell. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. It did not happen. Now, well, what does my dick look like? It's very distinctive.
People do
What
not
is it?
say stuff like that in real life. So I'm like, well, maybe in their life, maybe their father said things. And then we have to think of the nudie magazines they talked about and that whole weird thing with sex. Like, the father was obviously around to have some type of impression, is what I'm alluding to.
Yeah, probably. Um, the next thing we have is Ken and Trisha. I'm gonna keep her face up there for these two as well. So Ken and Trisha, they are now coming back from, Dr. Francis's counseling session. Trish was talking about the things she didn't like about the session, the things that she thought were helpful for her and everything. And I'm just like, y'all get up out my face, please. But they talk about, the situation with the DMs. Trisha brings that up. Um, you know, to talk about, she had heard through Tisha that, he be in girls' DMs and everything. Now, Ken didn't deny it. He said, yeah, I was in DMs, but that's when we were on the outs and everything. And boy, did that set Trisha back. So she goes, well, oh, okay. I didn't know it was going to be like that, but okay. And he goes, I think we should work on relationship. I miss the fun we had. I miss the family nights. And she goes, yeah, I know, me too. I miss that. And I'm just looking at them like, what the fuck is the real issue between you two? Because y'all are skating around it. We hearing about DMs, we hearing about family night, we hearing about missing each other. What happened? Am I the only one confused by Trisha and Ken? Mrs. Best, are you just as confused as me? What happened between them two? Because now it's not, the Rainbow Row.
I think that the rumors about Court saying certain things are true. I think that what happened is what I always say, always, always, and will never stop saying. Until somebody is divorced, they are still married. When people are done with each other and out of love, do you know what they do? They file for a divorce. Trisha, I think, be bullshitting, but I also think Kim be bullshitting. And I feel like the bullshit has just come and finally collided. I don't think that they had anything in common outside of working out. And I don't think that their relationship went any deeper than sex. Ken is a Captain Save-A-Ho that likes playing house with the next nigga's wife. That's just what this was. I feel like he's just looking for a way out.
It could be.
You're
but
not going to admit to talking to nobody in the DMs. It's been times I've been on the outs with my husband, irritated with him, thinking about just moving away. Okay? I never played in the DMs of nobody. Never played in the DMs of nobody. But if she's technically married and she was in his DMs while she was married, I'm sure he's looking for his next victim.
Yeah, absolutely.
The relationship is over. If we have a beef and don't talk for a few days and you think that means you could go on the internet talking to different bitches, then you can go on. I need loyalty even when we're not good. That's how you get to marriage.
Mm-hmm. Shani says, so Ken, you setting up the new married chick to be with? That's why you in DMs? need a new lady and kids to take care of and then brag about it, Ken.
Mm-hmm. He's looking for his next victim, girl. I'm telling you.
I want to challenge women who respond to this, who have kids and who probably still are somewhat connected to the father of their children, is to understand that men like Ken, though the hero syndrome may look nice, it's not all that's cracked up to be, because the moment Mad Day comes, he reminds you this is what he does for you. And if someone really does something that, they do for you and they love you, they would never bring it up at all. They would never bring it up at all. So the fact that he brings that up on Mad Day, yeah, it's not smart. So, ladies, I would challenge you to understand, y'all can entertain them, because a lot of y'all women be up in the comments talking about, "Oh, he's so fine," and "Oh, look at his muscle, chocolate," and all this kind of stuff. Look how he act on TV, because that can't be too far different from how he act in real life too. And like Keywan say, these two are loony. They really are. Yeah, dating a married person has to be the stupid decision one can make at any time that married couple can reconcile, and no one will bat an eye because they're married.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. Very true.
That.
Very true. You lose them how you get them. Very true.
That too.
Trish truly needs help. She doesn't know what she wants. However, when Miss Nell find out that Trish popped into Lance's DM and left the tongue and heart emojis first, Destiny now Trish. Well, what's crazy is Trish and Lance. Well, I guess they would be cousins through marriage, because Lance technically isn't Chris Fletcher's son, but biologically. So I guess, but still, I would still look at that as my cousin. Like, why the hell am I going on my cousin's timeline with a tongue and a heart emoji?
All you need to do is hit the like button, and if the like button is a heart, that is acceptable. Anything outside of that is strange.
It is strange. It's very
Especially when
strange.
Trish been in Destiny's face, cool with her, and you know that that's somebody Destiny used to talk to. It's not just strange. You low key almost breaking girl code. So I'm starting to see how Trish moves. Yes, Keywan, they showed it in the preview for what's happening next week in the episode. And they
I don't know.
showed
I
the
think she
DMs
did
and
it.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, how are they related? Did I miss it? So, Chris Fletcher and Trisha's mom, I think, are first or second cousins.
Mm-hmm.
When she was introduced to the show, she said that that's her mom's cousin. So I was saying technically they're not blood related, because Lance isn't Chris Fletcher's biological child, but still, that's still cousin by marriage, which is still weird to me. It's almost like Mary Cosby and Robert Cosby. That ain't her blood grandfather, but he was once married to her grandmother, so that's still, still weird. And he ain't fine. You talking about Ken Shana? Yeah, Ken ain't fine to me at all. Not even in the
You got a
slightest.
butterface.
It just, if he didn't have all those muscles, he would be cuter to me. But no. I would not respond to Ken. I'm busy with my son. Make sure he okay. Peace out, Ken. Yes, Shani, he looking for people like you, women who have children. Y'all are his target. Y'all are his target. I don't know why he likes that, but hey, it is what it is. Not that I begrudge it in any way. I feel like everybody should have equal opportunity, but still, to
If you're
potentially
gonna date a woman who has a child because you genuinely love that woman and the child comes with her, fine. Because if you love the woman, the respect and care and love for the child should come. But if you're gonna date women that have children, single moms, women in bad situations with marriage, like you're some form of a fucking predator and you're taking advantage of them. And then you're getting their hopes up thinking somebody's coming in just to crush them all over again, which adds to the existing trauma and headache and burdens that they already had. And to me, that's fucked up. That's messed up. That's why I know people be like, oh, you too hard on Kim, but he's foul in like the worst ways. And then in addition to that, he's going and interrupting the process and the union of marriage. Because I promise y'all, if Ken was married, he would hate to see a nigga like himself coming if he was having an argument with his spouse. And he says that a lot when he's talking to the gentleman in the show. So I'm kind of over Ken. But Trisha's so damn crazy, as Keywan says, she's loony too. So they could both go away. They were a bad addition to this show.
They really were. We're gonna move on to scene, you guys. So the next scene, Ken goes to Will's barbershop slash club or bar lounge or whatever the fuck that was, and Martell stops by. And Martell was looking at it like, wow, this is supposed to be a barbershop. You got a pool table, a bar, all kind of crazy ass, 50 shades of gray all over the place. I'm like, yeah, I was with Martell. This probably would not be kid friendly, but okay. So they're talking, about the whole situation, and Kim brings up that Tisha told Trish about the DMs, and Martell's like, "What? Why? See, Tisha always in somebody's business, but don't ever be checking that Marceau. Marceau got shit on top of shit on top of shit on top of shit. Like if she need to be worried about that versus worrying about all us." And I said, "Boy, a hit dog will holler. I tell you so." I said, Martell, everybody get their turn. See, if you sit down there and shut your ass up, this shit will reveal itself. You just mad because yours got caught first. Then I get it. Be better about that, but stop it. So, Ken admits to being in the DMs and everything, but he's heard that Trish has been in some DMs, and they said that she was out there with somebody just as buff as I was and everything like that. So, I don't know what to believe, but I do need to talk to Marcel about that because I don't like that. I don't like how Tisha was spreading all my business and stuff like that. And I'm looking at these fools like, really? Ken, you just said you was in somebody's DMs. You just confessed it. So if it happened, what the hell is you gonna get mad at Letitia for telling her when you've already admitted that you were in the DMs? Y'all, one thing I cannot stand is when we get mad at the messenger versus the message. The message is that you did it. Just like Selena over there on Bell Collector. Carlos, what the fuck wrong with these people? Because I cannot stand when somebody gets mad at the messenger versus the message. Should Ken feel a way about Tisha? Yes. But at the same time, she's friends with Trish. If Mrs. Best got wind of my man in somebody else's DMs and she don't tell me about it, then I'm going to look at her strange. So I can't fault Tisha for telling Trish. Now, should he feel away? Yes, I agree he should feel away, but that doesn't mean you go and confront Marceau over what she did. Like, I feel like that was ridiculous and stupid. And this conversation was so petty and ridiculous. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about this barbershop conversation?
So Ken was like, I'm gonna go to her man about it. Now, when Tish do something disrespectful and they call Marquez in front of you, Ken, and instead of you, maybe then you'll understand. I just feel like he just sat there and was contradicting himself. There's a lot of hypocrisy. I don't care for Ken. It's pretty much just the same opinion I've been had. I think he's very insecure though. I think he's extremely insecure and doesn't want to look a certain type of way. But I don't care for him. I feel like Ken should date men. Ken and men even rhyme. I do.
Not Mrs. Best jumping on the deep side with me.
I do. I was watching it with my husband last night. We was bored as hell. I'm not gonna lie. Me and Mr. Best, we be talking big shit watching Love and Marriage Huntsville. Because we can't believe we're watching this shit. But Ken, I'm looking at him. He got to make sure his chest is out and waxed all the time. The thirst trap, the dangling earrings, and then I see Will shop. And I'm like, if Martell is picking up what they putting down, then there's definitely some other things. Ken should date men. Ken and men rhyme. They're spelled the same with the exception of a letter
him and Will
difference.
make a perfect couple. They really complement each other. So
At this point, they do, because
yes,
the way that he spoke about Trish, it just did not make sense. And while Tisha was messy and need the butt out of people's business, I feel like Ken is not stupid and is aware of how messy Tisha is, especially being on the show. And I feel like he may have looked at the show before and known that Tisha is messy. So confronting Marceau on it kind of takes the spotlight off of him and puts it onto Marceau having to check Tisha. So it could be that too, but I don't know. I feel like we're giving too much energy to him. Like realistically, if Trisha and Ken break up and they keep the show going, that needs to end, and we get another season, like I don't care to see Ken with her. Isn't he a CDL driver? Go back on the road. I'd rather keep Trisha and get rid of him. But that's just me.
I just feel like to me, we're beating a dead horse. That you were in the DMs, you were entertaining people. It is what it is. Like Martell said. Well, let's see your DMs. Like, who was she talking about? And he goes, "Well, I don't know who she could be talking about. It could be anybody." And Martell was like, "You know what DMs you responded to? Like, stop it. Like, I just like, what the hell are we even talking about here? King, you did it. At the end of the day, no matter how it got you back to Trisha,
And then
you
he
still
tried to
did it.
act like he didn't do it. It
Right?
didn't make sense.
It
That's why I'm
didn't.
like, Ken, everybody needs to stop giving him energy. Because I also am starting to feel like watching him separate from him being a little sassy. Ken, men, don't forget it rhymes. I just feel like he enjoys the spotlight. You know how some people get on reality TV, and it doesn't matter if they're on the biggest show out there or the worst show on reality television, which I think this is one of. But it seems like Ken enjoys the spotlight that he has gotten from being on this show.
Yeah.
Constant posted of the thirst traps, the way that he was talking to them. He's always seems to be done up and oiled up when on TV. He references his own muscles, like, and he seems like he's not even interested in hearing or talking to Trish. It seems like he's more so trying to convince the audience and other people that he's right in his side of things, which tells me that he's enjoying the camera being in his face all the time and probably feeling like some fake ass celebrity in his head. But I don't like Ken, so I'm gonna digress.
Yes. Shani said, I always thought Lance was Chris's son and Nell was a stepmom. It's the other way around. Nell is Chris's. I mean, they look, Nell and Lance look exactly alike. Like,
They do.
if you
They
put
do.
Nell's wig on Lance, he could pass for his mama. He looks exactly like her. Chris has a daughter. Her name was Lexi. She was on the show one season, and then she went off the show and did a slew of interviews that did not highlight Chris as the best favor at all. Now Ken can come over here and pay all these bills for me and Tariq. Remember, my son is in his 30s. Come and take care of us, Ken. Oh, he want little baby children, not
30-year
not
old
grown.
might work for him. He ain't got to do too much.
I think Ken can have children, but something's off that he seeks unavailable women. I don't think he can either because he would have been had them by now.
Mm-hmm.
Shan pay his no for me, Ken, and Tariq's card no for. He do be buying kids the cars though, so I mean, hey, he might do it for you, Shanny. Will Barbershop is where he and Ken play. I do not want to picture that. I don't want to picture that at all. But I believe
He
it
needs a
because y'all,
barber shop with that ambiance. And
it's
he got
weird.
one chair,
Yeah,
one barber chair.
one
Why
barber
are you
chair.
renting such a big space? Go rent a little studio office and do it that like
That just looks like the boom boom room. That looks like
there's other stuff going on in
yeah,
there.
there's other stuff going on. That's not just a barber shop. Like there's a lot more going on up in there, especially if you keeping it open. And then you say you actually have members, so people have to buy a membership to go up in there. Oh yeah, there's something else
To
going on.
get your hair cut?
Yeah, that's what he said. Because Marcel was like me. I was confused on how he's keeping this afloat. You only got one barber chair. How the hell does this work? And he goes, I have a clientele of members. So you have to buy a monthly membership to go up in there. Yeah.
I ain't never. Oh, somebody call Ice Cube. This ain't what barbershops are supposed to be. I thought the shit was supposed to be community. When my husband go to the barbershop, he come back talk about all these great conversations
Listen,
he's had, things he's learned about. Like it's supposed to be, you come in, you get your shit cut. You
does
might have
anybody have Will's website real quick? Anybody has
a
Will's website?
membership
I need to see how much this costs. I need
for
to
a haircut.
see I need to see what the perks are. Who has Will's information? Y'all send it to me. I need to, or Will, because I know you watch me. Send me your stuff to my DM so
Now I
I
know you
can.
watch it.
Yes, I know he's watching. Will, send me your stuff to my DM so I can see what your membership perks. I am so curious. I'm very curious. I've never paid for a membership at a barbershop. I would love to
If
see
it's
what
a
this.
monthly thing and you could come get as many haircuts as you want, it could be worth it. But if it's not a monthly
No.
thing, then what does that membership get us? I
That's
need
what
to
I say.
know.
I need to see. I need to see it because that was very interesting. That business model. Let me read the next. That spot could be kid friendly if you come in the daytime and he know you got a kid coming with you. No, it cannot be friendly. Did you see all that shit everywhere? All that liquor, all the no,
Skulls
all the
and
skulls and
drink.
shit.
Can
That's
you
not
imagine
kid.
explaining that
That
to
does
your
not.
baby?
Yeah, that is not kid friendly up in there. Like I would never bring my child in there. I thought so until agreed not to talk about each other. I thought so too. You see
Mhm,
how you go? Yep.
mhm.
That shop is where all the butt naked hoes be.
Shanny, please.
What butt naked hoes? What butt naked hoes? Because let me tell y'all something. If I didn't know any better, if I had never watched this show before, and y'all would have brought Will and Ken next to me, I would have thought they were a couple.
Oh, Jesus.
I would have thought they were a couple. I'm not, no shade. They would make a cute couple. They really would. But I thought that, but I know better, so that's why I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, I don't see no butt naked hoes coming up in there. All I saw was skulls in the shop. Did I miss something else? No, you didn't miss nothing else. Um, JB, y'all shout out to JB. Subscribe to the channel. JB, you another person I need to contact about my birthday. I will get in touch with you shortly. I've been working hard this week, so I missed my mark, but I will definitely reach out to you shortly.
Good morning, JB.
Ken, you got mad chicks at the DMs. That's why you don't know who they talk. Yeah, it must be a lot of them. If you that's the case. I knew once they left Detroit, the show wouldn't return to the BS. Yep.
Damn.
Ken, you like me, and haha, I made a rhyme also. Y'all are silly. I got a little dog. He can also help take care. Shandy, not you pitching.
Dogs are expensive.
um, Destiny was creeped out too. I think Will has underlying issues. I saw that when him and the god brother Twan, when they was dancing in the sandwich with Destiny holding each other's hand and shit. I was like, the fuck? Yeah. Men can be hoes and also can be bucket naked also. Oh, did not put that in my mind. Shane James, you must be off today. No hat to the back. Yes, I am off today. Y'all, I only get one full day off. So yeah, it's today. Yeah, so I'm relaxed a little bit. I've got some much needed catch up sleep. So where are we at, y'all, with this shit? So we just got done with Will in his boom boom room. So let me see what else we have here in my notes. So we go back to Detroit, and Destiny pops up on the Scots, and she tells them about how her family is and how it was nice to meet her siblings and everything, and also her grandmother being able to be reunited with all the kids. That was beautiful as well. She said that she really had a good time and that this was very helpful for her, because she says when therapy happened she shut down, so this actually gave her a lot of filler to be more transparent, be open. And Marcel was like, yeah, Destiny, because you are not very transparent. Like, we just learned all kind of new things about you and everything. And they talk about, they asked her if she ever been to Pontiac, and she goes, oh yeah, my grandmother was a Jehovah's Witness, so we used to come around here because apparently there's like a little conference in Pontiac that they could go to, and they didn't know her grandmother was a Jehovah's Witness. And I'm like, well, that's not something that is firsthand knowledge. I mean, especially if she'd never talked about her grandmother before. But I guess I could see what they're talking about with her not being transparent and everything. Um, that shit was funny when Marcel said, Destiny, how old are you? And Destiny was like, see, I'm not going there, because Destiny type of person, she ain't finna forward you no information. You got to ask her shit. But she shows skated over that age question. She goes, you never ask a lady her real age. And I'm looking at her like, okay, Destiny. Pacino Rules says, I know Saul and he was not talking about the lack of transparency, right? Wasn't that rich coming from him, Pacino Rules? I love her and her family look so much alike. They all look like twins with Destiny. They did. They all did look alike. They look like her mom, like especially Paula. Paula looked like the most like the mom to me. Marcel has some nerve because the Scots, they're not transparent. They be hiding shit. Don't be talking about nothing. The whole first 8 seasons, they weren't talking about shit in their marriage, weren't talking about nothing. All of this rumors, they were trying to, confuse everybody and shit. But then we have this lady's face here on the screen. Yeah. Like she said, I'm not gonna just tell you shit, but if you ask, I'll tell you the truth. I feel like even with Destiny saying that, I feel like that was some bullshit too. But that was it. They really didn't talk much about nothing. Mrs. Best, would you like to share anything on that scene before we move on?
No, not really.
Okay. So we're gonna move on. I'm gonna keep her face here. The next thing we have is we're back in Huntsville, and Marcel meets up with Martell. And he's catching Martell up on the whole trip and how it was fun. And Martell said he talked to Destiny, got everything going. And then they talk about, the restaurant that Kimmy was trying to open that Marceau was supposed to be working on. And Martell was all like, damn, why you taking so long? Like, I'd have been had that shit up and running. Like, what the hell? Why is he taking so long? And after Maurice laughs, he said, Marceau has a lot of projects and the bigger projects have the first priority. So I'm sure he's going to get to it. But, the landlady is, getting in my ass about this place. I'm trying to hurry up and get it going, but I got to depend on my brother. I feel like this is going to come up later on in the season. But, I'm just like, hey, it is what it is, keep paying that rent, Maurice. Then they talk about, this whole thing about Tisha and how she has said that, he had a conversation with Ken and Tisha told Trish that Ken be up in girls' DMs and stuff. And Maurice was shocked. He goes, not Tisha. No, not that. That happen. He goes, yeah, he goes, dang. And I'm just looking at Bartell like, why would you bring that up? And y'all supposed to have this truce. But okay, Martell, you just wanted to be messy. I get it. You need your shine back on the show. Totally got it. But that was pretty much all that happened with them. It was a bunch of nothing. Mrs. Best, how'd you feel about Martell saying Marceau ain't finished that project and kind of alluding to Marceau don't be finishing shit?
I mean, it's true. I've been every season of this show I've watched, I've not seen Marceau finish anything. But they say he's a construction worker. And then there was that strange Christmas card for Christmas of 2025 that just happened to the family on an unfinished property in all black. That was also strange. So, I mean, I feel like as his brother, he get to say certain things other people may not be able to say. I'm hoping he's not saying it to be shady and it was just being honest. But, like you said, I think as the season progresses, we'll know more.
Yeah, because I feel like that was opening up the segment. That was pretty much all that happened. They didn't really talk about it. And this scene was pointless to have because I feel like they're just mingling so Martell would get some scenes. That's all it is. But the last scene we're gonna talk about was Kim pulling up to Black to talk to Marceau. And it was pleasantries. They were like, how's everybody doing? How's the family and everything? How are you with Trish? And we missed y'all at karaoke night. That's how we bonded. The four of us. We did the karaoke. And I'm like, I do not picture Trish singing no karaoke, but okay. Trish sings karaoke. The person who can barely get her words together sing karaoke. Okay. So they're talking about this, and Kim brings up the whole situation about Tisha. And he reveals that Tisha told Trish about, Kim being in other women's DMs and everything. And Marcel said, Tisha did that? Oh, Tisha, that's not cool at all. Brother, I know how you feel about that, getting your spots blown up and everything. But Tisha doing that? Tisha. Wow. Tisha really did that. Okay. I'll have to talk to Tisha about that because Tisha can't be telling people business like that. I mean, damn, Tisha. And I said, Marceau, now damn well you knew about this shit. And two, come on. Like, let's not do that. That shit was funny how he was throwing curveballs and everything and trying to get it off of Tisha. But he pretty much tells Kid, that in the circumstances of him and Trisha's relationship, they just have to figure out, what works best. The situation is already complicated because she has her husband, she has the kids and everything. And you guys should still be able to, be on a good foot with each other and not having to get in the way. And I'm just like, Marceau, that's not what they need to do at all. They need to break the fuck up and leave each other alone. I don't know why everybody is skating around the truth. These two do not need to be together because they were together on some fuck shit in the first place. And I feel like Trish was playing a game. I really do. I feel that Trish was trying to make Marquez jealous. I do feel like she was trying to also get some comfortability in something else because she was going through a hard time. Losing her sibling, losing her parents. She, this was her grief counseling. It's not the best grief counseling she could have gotten, but this is what she did. And now she's starting to get back to herself and starting to get back into doing the things that she loved, there's no room for the relationship anymore. And that's what they're both fighting against. There's no room for the relationship. So I just feel like, I don't know why everyone's skating around it. Just break up. Tell them, the relationship is not there. Now, I get you can't tell two people when to break up, but just be like, okay, well, is the relationship really working for you too? at where you guys currently stand? Would it be better if you two were apart? That's all you gotta say. But anyways, that's it. But how'd you feel about the conversation between Ken and Marceau? Do you think that Ken was in his right to confront Marceau about Tisha telling Trish about the DMs?
No, it's a waste of time because you've already admitted to it to your girl. So what? Like, she wasn't mad. So why are you going and now talking to Marceau about it? It's happened. It's done. You admitted to it. So what? I don't like it. I feel like he's just trying to place the blame in someone else so he can make himself into a victim. That's all Ken does, is make himself into the victim or the person who's been wronged. It's very rare that he admits to any wrong without somebody else admitting to being wrong first. So
Right.
I really think this guy is just terrible, but I don't like him. But I guess somebody does.
Pacino Rules says the Fletchers are the only cast members that have storylines with legs. The scenes are forced.
Preach, Patino Rules. You've been on a roll in these comments today, my darling, because everything you have said has been straight facts.
Right. Ken, you might now be on another chat right now, but you right on the ledge. I mean, my whole problem with this is my whole problem with Ken. I feel like you are perpetrating. I really do. I feel like you are perpetrating. I feel like you seek out these women that are not emotionally available and that are not realistically in the best headspace to be with somebody. Also, you can come in, be the hero, and then manipulate them. And then when your manipulation doesn't work, then you kind of go outside yourself and then make them the bad guy. When at the end of the day, you knew they weren't in the right headspace. You knew they weren't in the space to be with you romantically or even physically or even emotionally, but you still did it anyway. To me, that's perpetrating being a good guy. Because you're not a good guy if you're seeking out emotionally unavailable or even legally unavailable women as well. So I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel bad that Tisha told Trish. I feel like she was in her right. That is her friend. At the end of the day, they're friends. My friend is going to tell me if she finds out my man is in somebody else's DM, she's going to tell me. Is it messy? Sure.
No, but the thing is, your friends are loyal to you. Your friends are not loyal to your relationship. Your friends are not loyal to your partner. Your friends are not loyal to nobody but you. And I think a lot of times people in relationships, and sometimes even people in general in friendships, misconstrue and confuse and forget those things. Like, their loyalty should be to you, not to their family, not to the kids, not to nothing, just the person. When other parties get involved, things get complicated. And Ken is the other party getting involved. Like, that's what people are gonna do. People call me if they see my husband at work in Oakland. He worked for the city. They be calling me if they see him. Oh, I saw Josiah. He was on 12th and Broadway. He was on 16th and Franklin. Like, people will call me giving geographical locations. People call, send the pictures, even if he ain't doing nothing. Like, sometimes that's just what friends do. That's just what people do. And for Ken to try and like make that into a thing, especially over some shit that he admitted to doing, you're wasting everybody's time and you're not good at gaslighting at all, my brother. Give it up. Go back to the gym. Get in your truck and drive far, far away.
Or go to Will's barbershop. There you go.
James, you wait, right?
Oh, Lord. But that was it, y'all. That was Love and Marriage Huntsville. This was a fun live. Please let me know what y'all thought about the episode, what y'all thought about, Ken and him pleading his case about, people, exposing he being girls' DMs. Do y'all think Trisha was in some DMs? Do y'all think she went on the date that he explained with Martell and Will? How y'all feel about Will's barbershop and everything about that and Martell's opinion? Let me know. I want to hear about everything. And once again, if y'all got Will's information about his barbershop, please drop it in my comments, my DMs. I need to see how much the membership costs. I need to see what the perks are. I need to see everything because I am so curious because it sounds like a good business model that I need to look into my damn self. I don't cut hair, but I feel like I need to look into that shit. So let me see what you guys are thinking. Like the video, comment to the channel. Shout out to my replay game once again. What y'all say in the comments? Oh, girl, I would rat on Brother Joe out to you in a second, twin, if I saw him doing some bull. I know that's right.
And he
But
knows that. And would never get mad at it. That's how you know
yeah.
Ken is on some other stuff.
Yep, exactly. All right, y'all. But that's it. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. We will be live again on my channel either at the end of tonight or tomorrow morning. I still got to do House of Villains. So I will probably try to get that to you guys very soon. I'm still very busy, y'all, but I'm going to try to work this all out. Life be life, and that's all I'm going to say. But I'm going to keep up with it. Have a great one, y'all. Have a great rest of your weekend. See y'all later. Bye-bye.